Hello everyone, it's Katie here, back again with the Scrappy Sisters, and today I am doing a Project Life layout. I'm up to week 21 and 22 in my album, which is the end of May and the start of June, so I'm not actually very far behind at all. I'm trying to keep up this year, and this is the first year that I've actually done weekly, and surprisingly I'm really liking weekly. I know a lot of people have changed from weekly to monthly or just event based or whatever, but I'm first year of doing weekly and I'm quite liking it. So the first card I'm working on is just my week card. I thought I would actually use both those 3x4 cards to sort of make a 4x6, but actually, as you'll see, in the end I end up only using one 3x4 because it all sort of fits fine. And it takes me a while to figure out how I want this to look on the page. I am using my June Kitaholic kits. I get the pocket page, their main kit and the embellishment kit. So I'm pulling from all three of those for this kit, and I do grab one thing from my stash, which you'll see shortly, because I did not have enough of the numbers to make 21 and 22. So I had to improvise from my stash. I thought about using the small alpha stickers, but I thought they'd be a bit small, so I went and pulled out some coloured white and gold stickers from my stash, and before I do that I just thought I better put down some washi because I felt like they might get a bit lost. So this is the washi from the Cocoa Vanilla You Rock collection, so I'm putting down a couple of little strips of that just to, I guess, put the gold and white numbers on for the week card so you can see them a little bit better. I don't know if it worked or not, it's probably a little bit too much, but that's alright. Colour is good. I also didn't have a 1, although looking at that now I realise I did have a 1. But anyway, I'm so silly. It's up near the Z, as you can see there, very clearly, but clearly I couldn't, so I just used an I. I had heaps of I's anyway, but yes, I'm just sticking 21 and 22 down. That's the week that I'm up to, and then underneath that, using the small Kaiser Craft Alpha stickers, I'm gonna put the actual date range, which is the 22nd of May to the 4th of June. Obviously I didn't have a heap happening during this week because I put 2 weeks together, and I do that quite a lot, even though I just said before that I love doing weekly, and I do, but I don't always have a lot of photos for each week, so I'm more than comfortable to put multiple weeks together on a layout, and I tend to do that rather than do a half or like one page rather than a double spread for week 21 and then week 22. I think in this layout I only had 1 or 2 photos from week 21 and the rest were actually from week 22, so it wouldn't have fit to do a half page and a half page. So there you go. I think I'm going to add some of the Kaiser Craft orange rhinestones that came in the kits this month. Oh, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. I was about to say it's early. It's not early. It's almost lunchtime on a Saturday when I'm doing this voiceover, but I did film this video quite late on a Friday night, so the lighting isn't great and there's quite a few shadows, so please excuse that, but that's because I was filming late on a Friday night. So this is where I thought, well, I was going to do a double page week card, but I didn't, and so I didn't want the same colour kind of filler card, so I just pulled out one of the other pocket page cards from the kit. So I'm just grabbing some of the chipboard words we got in the kit this month, or is that what you call them, chipboard, cardboard? Anyway, this one says #blessed, and it is the kind of cardboardy colour, so I did decide I wanted to colour it using one of my Heidi Swap mists, and so I thought you guys might like to see how I do that, because it's actually really easy and it comes up quite well. So I just used the little stick end and just, kind of colour it in. It's super simple and it's quite effective. The cardboard takes the colour really well, and the thing I like about the Heidi Swap ones is they're a little bit kind of metallic-y, and so they give a little bit of shine when you colour them. So I thought that worked well, and that's super simple, and it just adds something a little different to the word, so I think kind of ties it into the layout a bit better. Although when I was editing this video and I was watching back, I should have gone with that side of the card. I didn't. I went with this side, and I regret it. And if I could have yelled at myself through the video as my past self and said, no, go with the darker blue background, but I didn't, and I can't change it. It is what it is now. So I'm just adding a little bit of washi and then going to stick down this hashtag blessed word. I was a little lazy and I just used a little bit of double-sided tape and then popped the word on top. I know that's probably not the best method because, you know, the double-sided tape doesn't cover the entire word, but you can't see it and it seems to have stuck fine. It's been a day or so since I filmed and nothing's fallen off, so we're going to go with it. And then in the washi book it had these two little phrases. One says enjoy the little things and one says life is better when you're laughing. And the card or the photo beside it, my giant face, I don't know if you can tell, but up in the right hand corner of that photo is a little face of my nephew, and we were FaceTiming and we were laughing at each other and it was very cute. So I wanted to include that. These photos are on the next page, or this one photo, which is Snapchat. I am a new adopter of Snapchat, a late adopter I suppose you could say, and I bloody well love it. I only have about 5 friends, but that's okay because we're real life friends, and so we just send each other snaps, and I like that I can save them to my phone and I can put them in my Project Life album. So this one already has text on it which says walking to the Bendigo venue in the rain, which is very confusing, but our band went to a competition in Bendigo and my grandma lives in Bendigo, and so I stayed with her and she went off to church on the Sunday and I said, don't worry Gran, I'll walk to the venue, and it rained. And my grandmother was most upset that I was walking, but it was good exercise and it only rained a little bit. So that's that photo, and because I was I'd never walked around the parts of Bendigo that I took to get to this venue, I liked that word explore, that acrylic word that came in the kits, and I thought that that worked well. If you haven't noticed, I haven't done any journaling, and that's not deliberate, it's just I don't love filming my journaling. I think it's a bit boring and it takes too long, and so I just do all my journaling off camera. So I'm leaving a lot of space, and that is for journaling. I don't journal on my 9x12 full page layouts because I don't like the way that it looks, but I do journal a lot on my Project Life because, you know, I know now I look and I understand what all these photos are for, but there's going to be times when I look back and think, what on earth was I taking a photo of that? So I do like to put journaling in there. So as you'll see with this card, this grey card that I'm doing now, it is a little space for some journaling, but it's going to look funny because I'm leaving it blank. But I really like how this colour grey in the label that Deb made for the cutter parts actually really went really well with this filler card that I'm making. So just adding a couple of the rhinestones, the orange coloured rhinestones to that card, and we're all good. So yeah, I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I do like to keep my Project Life pretty basic. I know for some people this is quite embellished, and that's fine, and for others this isn't very embellished at all. I don't like to put a lot of height or dimension into my Project Life layouts because I do not want more than 2 albums per year. Ideally 1 album per year would be better, but I can't do that. So 2 albums per year, I really want to avoid going over 2 albums per year. So, and I do mix my full page layouts with my pocket page layouts. So I tend to keep my bulk and dimension for my full page layouts and try and leave my Project Life a little bit flatter. That's just my strategy. Everybody's different. I know other people do like to put a bit of bulk on their Project Life, and that's cool too. Sometimes I will stick some of the bulkier things on the outside of the pocket rather than onto the card, because I find sometimes it can, some things like particularly wood veneer and stuff can like crease your pocket, the plastic pocket. Does that make sense? Anyway, I'm rambling. So that photo on the left, I know it looks weird. It's a lot of kettles, or teapots I should say, and other kind of afternoon tea or high tea related bits and pieces, but our work was having a afternoon tea to celebrate a milestone, and people were asking for staff to bring in things that related to high tea, and I said I've got about 6 teapots. I kind of collect them because I'm a tea lover, and so I bought them all in, and I just laid them all out on the bench and took a photo and sent them to my work colleagues and said, is this enough? I was being a little bit cheeky. So this is a random card too, but the journaling that I want to do on this card relates to the picture on the right hand side. So the arrows were I just started with one arrow to sort of indicate that, this journaling relates to that photo on the right. And then there was a whole heap of little arrows in the ephemera pack that came in the kits this month, the You Rock ephemera pack from Cocoa Vanilla. And so I just used them all because why not? And adding a lot of rhinestones to this card. I was a little delirious, been a full week of work, and I'd been at a conference in the city all day, and I had a headache, and I came home, and so yeah, it's a little bit random, some of this stuff. So these next few photos and filler cards are pretty exciting for me. That is a selfie, obviously, that photo in the middle of me with my laptop. I'm actually at work, randomly enough, but I had just handed in my thesis. So I was pretty pleased with myself. I just had to make some minor, I just proofread it over my lunch break, and I just had to make some minor changes and then submit it. And I was just sitting at the back. We had a parent night. I work in the youth sector, and we were having a parent night, and I didn't need to do anything other than physically be there. So I sat at the back, made my changes and submitted, and I was excited. So there's lots of You Rocks, which I thought were appropriate. I will do some journaling on that Oh Snap card, because obviously this occasion is a momentous one that I want to capture. And I was very proud of myself. So the next 3 photos to finish off this spread are all random photos of my computer with my thesis. For those of you that are interested, it is titled Gender Equity Programs in Primary School, a Review of the Literature. It was actually really interesting. And so, yeah, these are just random photos, funny photos of me at work handing in my assignment, and I Snapchatted a few of them to my friends, and I was like, oh, my thesis, it's in, hallelujah. Oh, I was excited, relieved, all of the emotions. So I'm adding a few rhinestones, and then that's the end of the layout. I'm going to show you some close-ups, and I will do all my journaling off camera, so you won't get to see any of that, but that's okay. I don't think the journaling is the important part. Excuse me. I really hope I'm not getting sick. So I have just clearing out my workspace a bit, because if you haven't noticed, my camera is a bit closer to the ground, and that's because my filming setup is not ideal currently, but my beautiful father is making me a phone stand. We're just not quite there yet, so I'm just improvising in the meantime, and I don't have that much space. And because of where my lights were, the glare is really bad, but we'll do what we can. I love that acrylic word. It's great. So there you go, that's one page, and here's the next, and then this layout is done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the video. Give us a like, leave us a comment. We love having comments and interacting in the comments. It's great. So we hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you all in the next video. Look at me, so excited I handed in my thesis. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next one. Bye!